Rick, I want to talk a little bit about what people can do. We've seen these ads. We don't see as much anymore about people checking on their title and doing those types of things. I know you guys offer a service. You'll do it for free. I mean, I get it from my clients all the time. If somebody wants to get up to date on their house and their situation with the house, what can they do?
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Yeah, there's a few different options that we can offer to the consumers, whether we're in a transaction or not in a transaction with them. The first one is a computer-generated report. We call it a property profile.
Yep.
We just enter the address in the system. It prints out all the characteristics of the property, the neighbors, the surrounding area. But most importantly in there is what's called the transaction history.
Yeah.
It's going to show who owns the property, which is important. If you think you're the owner, you should be listed.
Let's hope so.
Any type of mortgages,
Right.
Any potential liens will show up on a property profile. But we want to go a little bit more in depth than that. That's a push a button, here's a report type of situation.
Right.
We recommend everybody doing that at least once a year. Just look at it. There's services out there. We'll do it for you.
Right.
The next report, which I like better, is a one-page lien summary that we call it. Mm-hmm. It's everything that's on the property profile without the fluff. Okay. So we got the owner's information, how they're actually vested on title. So that's important.
Yeah.
That's our number one issue we run into from a title company standpoint is the vesting on previous transactions and how they can mess up a current transaction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we check that. Any mortgages, first, second, thirds, liens or judgments. If the name isn't common, we can run your name to see if there's anything that's been recorded against your name.
Right. But if it's common,
it's a little bit more difficult. But we do that as well.
Right.
The other piece is any UCC filing, solar, water softener, alarm systems, current on taxes, water conservation easements. We're actually looking. There's eyes on the title chain to see what's affecting that property.
Yeah.
And then the other resource that I tell people all the time, go to the Clark County website. Clark County, the website that they built through the assessor, the treasurer,
recorder's office,
office are amazing.
Yep.
You can
really
search your name, you can search your parcel number, you can see everything about you because it's public record. Yep. So we recommend that you do that. And the other thing now that off the property topic that I tell people it's time to start checking up on is your technology. Your email specifically.
Yeah.
Most people have Gmail, Yahoo, one of the free services out there.
Right.
We talk about it when we talk the wire fraud segments, but go into your settings, make sure there's no forwards turned on. Make sure there's no auto replies or anything auto forwarding or anything like that, because that's how these bad guys that we talked about in the past start affecting your life. And it's other things too, start changing passwords, once or twice a year.
Yep.
Using password phrases instead of just a name.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're going to pick, let me guess, they're going to pick their firstborn son with his birthday and a some symbol. Like
the bad guys can use AI too.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And they'll just put all the names and dates of your thing, throw it in there, and then before you know it, they figured out your password.
Right.
Yeah.
So on all of our software that we have through Equity, anything with our employees, we use phrases.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 characters is the minimum
Right.
that you have to have in there with numbers, lowercase, uppercase, and a symbol.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, but the technology piece, outside of just checking on your property, check on yourself. Check on your name on the recorder site, check on your name and your emails, make sure nothing's out there. And use AI as well. AI yourself. What can you find out about and put your name in there?
Oh, yeah.
And see what comes up.
I do Google myself every now and then. I have a watch. Google search for me, make sure if anything my name pops up, it'll show me.
But back on the property stuff, we have access to all the recorded data. We have access to all the recorded documents. Anything that consumer needs, it is public record. We can get it. We can get them the copy. If it needs to be certified, they have to go to the county for that because that does have a charge.
Yeah.
But we have the ability to do that research and make sure that your house is your house.
A big takeaway from this, guys, and you've heard me say this before, is that you make the assumption every single time that someone is watching your email. Just make the assumption.
100%.
There's a bad guy watching your email, and he's sitting there waiting for you to do something with money.
Exactly.
And he'd like it to be a house because that's a lot of money.
Yep.
And he's going to when he sees it, he's going to make himself look like one of us and have you send your money to him. Yeah. And so be prepared for that.
Right. And if your home is free and clear, you are
You're a
10
target.
times more
Yeah, you're a
likely
target.
to be a target than if you have a mortgage on the property.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, they love. And the next thing you know, you do have a mortgage on the property that
Right.
you didn't know about.
Or next thing you know, you don't own that property anymore.
Right. Yeah, scary stuff.